Good morning. Today we're going to talk about ABO screening. Everyone is curious to know what their blood type is. And in order to know this and be able to understand the rest of the presentation, it's going to be important for you to understand two basic concepts. And that is going to be the antibody and the antigen. The antibodies are generally found in serum. Antigens are generally found on the cell. Antigens and antibodies work much like that of a lock and key mechanism. So today we're going to look at how to do an antibody screen and find out what your blood type is. The first thing you see here is we actually have blood, which has our antigen, and we're going to use antibody in order to determine whether or not your blood type is type A, B, or O. So the first thing that we're going to do is we've got our test tubes laid out here, and I'm going to add a drop of the blood cells into each tube, and we're going to find out what the blood type actually is. Okay, so this is our antiserum. Much like that of the serum, we actually have simulated with anti-A. If our patient is type A, we will see a reaction in the test tube after we centrifuge it. This is our antibody B. We're going to add this to our second tube to determine whether or not the patient is B. And this is our anti-D, which is what tells us our RH factor, whether we're going to be RH positive or RH negative. So we're going to add a drop to that test tube as well. Going to mix it up gently. We're going to put it in our centrifuge. We're going to spin it for 15 seconds. A positive reaction is going to be depicted by a clot in the bottom of the tube. That is known as a agglutination reaction. And in just a few seconds, we're going to see whether or not each of the tubes has agglutinated as expected. As a safety feature, the lid will not open until the rotor has completely stopped, and this takes just a few more seconds. Okay, so what we're going to see here, let's take a look at the first tube we have, and that is going to be our anti-A tube. If we give it a brief shake, we will notice that we do not have a clear drop of blood anymore. It is depicted by that of a clot. I'm going to step around here a little closer for you to see. And you can see here we have a rolling clot in the tube. So that would be a positive reaction for our A tube. Again, we'll do the same thing for our B. In this tube, I'll step around a little closer. You will notice that I have no clot in the tube. It's just clear rolling drop of blood. And again in our D tube. And you can see it is depicted by a clot. So actually simulates this is that we have an A positive patient. And this was my blood, so I know that we're correct because I am A positive. Now, in the event that we had a patient that was type O blood, we would see no clotting in the A or the B. If we had an Rh negative person, we would see no clotting in the D. So, the way that we depict this is, let's take a look on the board. On a patient who is O, they have in their serum antibody A and B. So those people would not be able to have a transfusion from an A person or a B person. So we would see no antibody-antigen reaction, that locking key mechanism, so we would have no agglutination in which we would see a negative tube or just a clear drop of blood. In the A, we have antibody B. And therefore, we would not have had a reaction in our B tube as you saw in the test tube that we performed. In the B, we have antibody A. And the antibody A is actually going to be a negative reaction in the A tube, but a positive in the B tube to depict that the patient is actually B. Same thing for Rh types. If you're an A positive person or an A negative person, you would see that positive negative depicted in this D tube. Well, thanks for watching, and I hope it cleared a few things up for you. Have a great day.